The earnings call. Now I don't have the ins and outs of the earning call, but we've got some of it, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Disney Plus has lost 4 million subscribers when it was projected by Wall Street to grow. So not only has it not grown, but it has also lost 4 million subscribers in the second straight quarterly drop. So for 6 months in a row, Disney Plus has now lost subscribers. But Variety is trying to frame this as a positive by going, well, streaming losses have narrowed. Okay. And that matters why? Like, that's based on what? Based on the previous subscriber numbers and the income? Based on the new subscriber income? What's it based on? Is it based on the fact that you shed 7,000 people?
Yeah.
Fired 7? Like, what's it based on? You know, like, you can't say that this is positive in any way, shape, or form. So just from a headline perspective, Tom, let's get your thoughts on that while I sip some.
This is bad. I mean, we had a conversation on Midnight's Edge After Dark about a week and a half ago or so, where I was asking everybody, do you think the streaming war is over? In fact, I think it is, and I don't think anybody won. I think everybody lost in this. This was a dumb move. You've got financial advisors going out there and telling Paramount stop streaming. It's losing you money. But it's too late. These guys have decided to get on this boat, and it's left the harbor. They can't turn around now. But at this point, this is basically what we were trying to warn everybody with Disney. You mess with your core audience, and they are going to turn away from you in droves.
Yeah.
Because I really can't chalk it up to much more than just either the economy. I'm sure that's a part of it. People just don't have the extra money to spend. But other than that, I think a lot of it has to do with families just saying, you know what, we don't trust Disney.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree with that. And they've had multiple bad headlines consistently during this 6-month period, and obviously before as well. But you know, it's slowly ramped up and up and up and up and up. All these bad headlines that they're getting, like, people do eventually take note. It's like, so it's almost like a good comparison would be, and this will make sense, the likes of Coca-Cola and their advertising, right? Now, Coca-Cola doesn't need to advertise. It's like it's everywhere. But they do advertise because it becomes a subliminal thing. Now, Disney getting consistent bad headlines, eventually people will take notice. At the start, people don't, but eventually they do. And then it becomes a subliminal thing of people going, God, fucking Disney are real bad. God, Disney are real bad. What we do? Are we just, we're not liking Disney? Okay, yeah, we're not liking Disney. You know, it's that thing. It is literally just that thing that people end up doing. So, yeah, not good. So the article says Disney Plus shed another 4 million subscribers in the first 3 months of 2023, marking the streamer's second consecutive quarterly drop after closing 2022 with its first ever decline. And then they're like, on the bright side, the Mouse House also managed to narrow its streaming business losses by 400 million, down 26% year over year. But again, how are you doing that metric? What metric are you working on when you say that? Is it the previous subscriber amount? Is it the new subscriber amount? Is it the fact that you binned off 7,000 people? Like, what is that based on?
And I'm going to just kind of throw spitball out there. I think that they're going off of the idea that, remember when Disney Plus started? It was right during the pandemic shit.
Yeah.
So all of the stuff that they were producing went straight to Disney Plus. Since then, they've been able to send things to theaters. So it's just probably the difference, the amount of money that they saved, if it's not from all the people they fired, it's from the fact that they've been able to release movies in theaters instead of straight to Disney Plus, I bet. Does that make sense?
Actually, yeah, that's a worthwhile. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's an absolutely worthwhile thing to mention. To be fair, you're probably
that's the only way you could lose that many people and still manage to save money is because you're not releasing everything to the platform. You're actually putting things out in theaters too.
Yeah, you're not losing money by immediately just releasing it onto your own platform. Basically, is what you're saying. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way I can see this making financial sense here.
Yeah. So on Wednesday, Bob Iger and co. beat Wall Street estimates for Disney's quarterly earnings and revenues due to an impressive January-March showing at the company's theme parks. That is the only thing that is keeping them afloat. So that win comes during a fiscal Q2, which concluded April 1st, plagued by company-wide layoffs, a looming and now active writers' strike, and a turf war with Florida Governor, apparently, Rick DeSantis. Variety, for goodness sake.
Never heard of that guy. Who is that?
Hey, neither
Rick DeSantis?
Look, Rick DeSantis.
Is that his brother?
Who knows?
Hey, Rick.
It's very funny, though. So, Disney ended the quarter with 157.8 million subscribers at Disney Plus, significantly missing Wall Street's estimate of 163.17 million subscribers. Now, that projected figure would have been up from 161.8. So they were projected to grow by 2 million subscribers, but they actually contracted by 4 million subscribers.
Yeah,
because bad actually when you think about it.
That's really bad.
Because just this
and that's
past
why they're
February,
down now $10 or something like that.
Yeah, just this past February, they just announced that they lost 2.4 million subscribers worldwide.
Yep.
And now here they are. They've lost 4 million, since then. So you're looking at a total, what is that, 6.4 million just this year alone? I mean, that's not good.
Consistent losses across the board consistently for 6 months. And you can see the headline here, Disney Plus to add Hulu content in a one-app experience later in 2023. Prices for Disney Plus to increase. I mean, that doesn't scream as a sort of desperation. I don't know what does. I mean, that's something which they were doing in other parts of the world as it was. So it goes to show that they think that their own marketing strategy, how they've sort of segmented their platform, is a failure.
Yeah. I mean, they're almost... in a way, kind of competing against themselves, having Hulu and Disney Plus. But correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. Disney doesn't own 100% of Hulu, correct?
Not yet, but I think that I think they said again. I didn't watch the earnings call, but I think there was an allusion to that by the end of the year they would have to come up with some sort of deal with them. Because I think the whole deal that I understand it, and this is a very broad generalization, is that they started this with they started Hulu with Universal and Comcast. I can't remember which other company it was. What was it, Nick?
Comcast?
Maybe. Yeah, I think it was Comcast. Yeah, so or Universal is Comcast. Never mind. No, there was. I thought there was a third party involved, but I think they got bought out a while back. But basically, it's down to Disney and Universal, and the way that the deal is structured. Disney has to buy them out if Universal wants out of the deal. So that's kind of what they did earlier or late last year, whatever. They said they were getting out of the deal or whatever. So Disney's got to come up with X amount of money to pay them by the end of this year, I think it is. I don't know the exact ins and outs, but like it has something to do with that. But you're right, Nick. But at the same time, they need like a Star. They don't have a Star here like they have outside of the U.S. Nate, you're probably familiar with Star, which is basically the adult version of Disney Plus. But yeah.
Yeah, so we have a bit more of a breakdown of their losses, and it's huge, actually. So Wall Street forecast earnings per share of 93 cents on 21.78 billion in revenue, according to analyst consensus data provided by Refinitiv. Disney reported adjusted EPS of 93 cents on 21.82 billion in revenue. Disney posted negative free cash flow of 168 million for the quarter. Starting with its fiscal Q2 2022, Disney restructured its financial results into two segments: Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution, Disney Parks, Experiences and Products. Disney's direct-to-consumer revenue for the quarter rose 12% to 5.5 billion. Sounds good, while its operating loss decreased 26% to 1.1 billion. Still operating at a loss, which is better than analysts forecasted. However, Disney's linear TV networks revenue also dropped 7% to 6.6 billion, and operating income decreased 35% to 1.8 billion. Revenue for Disney's domestic TV channels business, which include ABC and ESPN, decreased 4% to 5.6 billion, and operating income decreased 33% to 1.6 billion. The drop in operating income was attributed to lower ad revenue and higher sports programming and production costs. International channels revenue for the quarter dropped 18% to 1.1 billion, and operating income fell 65% to 85 million. The only good spot is Disney's parks and experiences, which saw revenue climb 17% to 7.8 billion and operating income rise 23% to 2.2 billion, reflecting increased guest spending at international and domestic parks and experiences. Content sales, licensing, and other revenues, which includes box office revenue. So box office revenue increased 18% to 2.2 billion and saw an operating loss of 50 million, which was down from an increase of 16 million year over year. I mean, it's not good at all.
No, it seems like most everything is going down for them, except for their parts and their theatrical releases. But they're still
doing well. Parks are only doing well because they're actually open.
Yeah,
remember these are year-on-year projections. So if you were to compare their earnings to when it was at the peak pre-COVID, it would probably pale in comparison to that still.
Oh, so somebody should. I wonder why they don't do like a comparison or article based on that.
I wonder why they don't.
It'd probably really look bad. Yeah, they don't. They probably don't want to touch those numbers.
It's not looking good. No, none of this is. Tom, what do you think? I mean, it's literally just linear losses.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to scramble in some way to make this look good for them somehow. I mean, I don't know how they can, but I mean it is what it is. At the end of the day, they gotta pull themselves up by the bootstraps and figure this shit out, for lack of a better way of putting it. This is a tough time for Hollywood. I mean, the Schadenfreude, I got to tell you, there's a little bit of that going on. It kind of sucks for us as far as reporting some news because there's not a lot going on right now with the strikes, and the companies are kind of just tanking. But at the same time, I look at it and I laugh because it's like, good, this is what you get.
Well,
you play with the bull, you're going to get the horns, right? Like,
well, either way, if we're looking at it now, it's not great in terms of the other things. Even if the parks are on a good upward trend, the rest of it's not great at all by any stretch of the imagination. And I think this marks a pretty sizable trend in general with Disney as a whole. Their sort of downward trend that they're doing, and the stock sort of follows that. It tracks that. Like it's not good.
Yeah,
their stock's not looking good either.
Yeah, I think their stock's down today. Actually,
yeah,
I think they're under $100.
Yeah, it's $91.98 value. In fact, shared it.
Yep, down almost 9%.
9%, over 9%. Not good. No. That's not good. That's real bad. Oh well, what do we think? Ladies and gents? What do we think?
Schadenfreude.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to really care that much about it, to be fair. About Disney going downhill. I wonder whether people will check out from their parks, though. That's the thing.
Couldn't have happened to nicer people.
Because that's the only thing that's keeping them afloat is their parks. Literally, like we've just gone through it. The parks is the only thing keeping them afloat.
Yeah, there was somebody talking about this the other day on a stream. I can't remember. It might have been Tom's stream. It might have been on Midnight's Edge. But they're talking about, ultra uber Disney fans that even though they don't agree, they can't stop going to the parks or, buying the merchandise or watching the movies.
It was you. It was you on Tuesday. You said that on Tuesday.
Was that me?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I can relate, though. I do that all the time.
We were saying about it on Tuesday. Oh, fucking hell. That's hilarious.
Well, anyways, yeah. There, those people still exist out
Olaf
there.
says I said it, but we will know what. We'll give Nick credit for it.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me of when I'm streaming something. I'll be like, somebody said this last week on the show, and Script Doctor will be like, you said that, Tom.
Yeah.
But I guess because we all sort of chime in as well, sometimes it gets a bit
Yeah.
muddied on who said what.
Well, and you don't want to like accidentally take somebody else's point either, right? Like,
yeah.
No, that's exactly it. Oh, goodness me, that's hilarious. Right, anyway. Oh, dear. Right, anyway.